Very good morning, students. In the last class, we are discussing on Unit 4, that is OD interventions. We have covered comprehension interventions and we are discussing on structural interventions. Under structural interventions, in the last class, we discussed about the job enlargement, and then characteristics of job enlargement, then features of enlargement. After that, we discussed about the merits, demerits, and implementing process. In today's class, we will discuss on job redesign. Under structural interventions, till now we discussed on change in physical setting, formalization, we discussed on work redesign and the job enrichment. In today's class, we will discuss on job redesign strategies and MBO. The job redesign is basically a process of restructuring the elements of job. Like these elements means the tasks, duties, and the responsibilities. It is usually done by the job to make the job more interesting, exciting, or encouraging the employees. Because like instead of like doing the same job every day, so just they will restructure the responsibility, adding the new responsibilities or adding the new task or moving one step ahead. It means just making the change. The main objective of conducting job redesigning is to place the right person at the right job and the maximum to get the maximum output. So based on the employee skill set, based on the employee interest, if we place that employee, so we can get in a maximum output from the employee. It means restructuring means we are putting, for example, at the time of recruitment, we like put him for the receptionist area, but that person is good in technology and we can utilize for the other process. In that case, if you adding the more responsibilities or you moving the position or moving the department where that employee suits and employee interesting to work, in that cases it is beneficial to the both organization as well as individual. How means the individual, if he works in his area of interest where is interesting to do, so we can expect in a good efficiency, it will leads to a beneficial to organization development. So the techniques are, these are three important techniques how the job can be redesigned. One is job rotation. It means in the same level we are moving worker from one job to another. And the next one is job enlargement. It's in a vertical movement, sorry, it's an horizontal movement. It gives workers to do it more, like we are adding the more work. And you all know about the job enrichment we discussed in the last class. It gives in a more authority, responsibility. It means we are adding more work, means we are giving a more power to the employee. We are enriching, we are adding the more value to the job, adding the responsibilities, giving the more work, giving the more authority. Again, this is also will identify the candidate capabilities and its area of interest and we are assigning that. The next, the job redesign process. It's a total step process. We'll discuss one by one. The first one is revising the job content. It means when you are planning to redesign the job, so you should first check and you should involve the recollecting and revising the job related information, means which can be altered, where we can be placed. So revising job related information or determining inconsistency between, for example, where the problem is, which person is not working properly, where the inconsistency between the person and job. For example, one person is good in Excel, another person is good in like designing. So identify the job which is suitable for the person who knows Excel. So place the person who is good in designing or like other things, like place in the place where he can utilize his skills. It means you should find the inconsistency between the person and the job. So that's what we need to revise the job content. For example, some cases we need to change the job description as well. For example, at the time of recruitment, we'll add that is the required skills, but if the candidate is able to do it more, for example, is good in like other things, we can revise in the content. It's not mandatory to that we will stick to the job description, whatever we are told that we will not. Based on the employee capability, based on the employee interest, we can revise the content of the job description. And the next one, analyzing job related information. Once a job analyst, here the job analyst is nothing but you guys, like the HR people, we can call it job analyst, means they're going to review, they're going to collect the information, they're going to analyze the complete this job redesign, enlargement, enrichment, everything will be done by the you people, the HR professionals. The duty is to place the right people at the right place. That's the duty of HR. So once the job analyst is through with the recollecting and revising the job content, he will analyzing, after analyzing discrepancies. So they will determine that, so where actually what duty or what task to be assigned to the candidate. So and why the people they're not able to deliver. It means where you find the mismatch in the first stage. So you'll identify that why these people not able to achieve this kind of do. Is it any training required, or he is interested in something else? Why an employee is not able to deliver the expected output? So you need to analyze the job related information, and you need to analyze the skills and the required skills for the job. Based on that you need to redesign, and then the altering the job elements. So you need to amend that, you need to alter the job elements based on the requirement of the company, based on the skills of the employee. So it may include that you may add on to like addition or deletion of some of the responsibilities or the roles or the function. So it's based on, for example, like if you're moving a one step ahead or the downward, means there's a possibility that additional deletion of responsibilities and the roles. The basic aim of altering the job content is to design a job in such a manner that it encourages employees to work harder and better. So if we alter that as in keeping employee centric, so definitely we'll get motivated and we can expect a good performance by the employee. So that's the reason you need to alter the elements. Alter the elements means you can't always to be the employee centric only, but always like you need to expect that always you need to think towards optimum utilization of resources. It means the employee, like instead of like, so always you need to get the maximum output from the employees, you need to work on that manner. And the next one is reformation of job description and specification. So after altering the job elements, a job analyst needs to reform the job description and the specification in order to make sure that the worker placed at the particular place is able to deliver what is expected of him. So always we need to make sure that we need to alter the content. And we need to make sure that that is delivered by the employee. And the next step, reshuffling the job related task and the duties. So once you alter the job content, so automatically it means you, if you're adding one or other responsibilities or you're moving or adding, so it will lead to any reshuffling the job related task. So you, the next is to reallocation of the new altered task and the functions to the employee. It may be by rotating. So after identifying the employee skills and things, you can maybe rotate the job, means in the same like you are moving to the other places, or you can going for the enriching, or you can going for the enlarging, means moving in the same department, the same line, and engineering the job. It means the changing in the process or the changing in the steps. The idea is to motivate and perform while increasing this satisfaction level. It means just we need to get the best from the employees. That's it. So all these redesigns, enlarging, enriching, re-engineering, everything is to get the best out from the employees. So this is a process of job redesign. The first one, revising the job content. Next, we'll analyze the job related information. Later, we will be altering the job elements. Based on the altering, we will again reforming the job description and specifications. Then the final stage is reshuffling the job related tasks and duties. Means we need to go by step. First, like revising the content, job content, what is we given, and we analyze what is the job need, and we'll alter the elements and reform, then the reshuffle. So what are the advantages we'll get by doing this process? By doing the job redesigning, what the company will get? The first advantage is enhances the quality of work life. Means we'll get in a good quality work from the employee, and it increases in organization productivity. If the person works on his interest, definitely the productivity will go high. We can reduce the wastage, we can reduce the time. Definitely people will work effectively if we are seeing the task which is interesting into it. Take an example. For example, here few people you are interested in account subject, means practical subjects. So always you give more preference to that subject and you score high in that. And the few students, they're good in theory subjects, they will not give the more importance to the practical. Always they give the more importance to the theory and they score in that subject. The same in the job. The people who works to the people, the employees who wants to take the challenging tasks, if they're getting that kinds of jobs, definitely they work hard because they wanted to prove themselves and they wanted to improve themselves. They wanted to see themselves like in a good position. Like, they always wanted to take in a challenging task. By doing this, by redesigning and making it's an employee centric, we can achieve the organization productivity. It increases employees on job productivity. Yes. So definitely it will increase the productivity. It means, so we can see the good, more like quality work, efficient, effective work. It's create right person, job fit. So if you analyze the content, redesigning, altering, reshuffling based on the requirement of the job or the based on the skill set of the employee, so we are able to match the right person to the right place. Means we are able to find the like its suitable position, place where we can give the best output. And also it brings a sense of belongingness in the employees. It means like yes, they will involve, and we can expect good output from them. And the next concept is MBO. It means management by objectives. We already covered this in the previous unit. While discussing on the techniques of organization development, we discussed about MBO. So here it's in a step-by-step process. The first one is defining the organization goals, and the second one determining the employees or subordinate objectives. It means just linking the organizations with the individual goals. Then we will constant monitoring employee progress in the performance evaluation, providing feedback and the performance appraisal. Under determining organization goals, the entire development of the organization is depends on the set goals. So always the organizations, the companies, they works towards their goals or the missions what they have set. So always it's the most the goal is the most critical and necessary factor behind the effectiveness. For example, like if you have an aim means then only we like target that. If we have a target in front of us, so always we will move towards that. If there's no target, so in a game wherever we take, like if there's a goal means like always we target to achieve that, target to reach there. If there is no goal, the game will not end. So very important to effectively manage and set the goals as a single or many of different kinds. The goal setting is an important factor here, and while setting the goal you need to make sure that the feasible, it can be achievable. And the second step, determine the employee objectives. So after you determine the organization goals, the next you need to know the individual goals. So it's a responsibility for the management to ask the employees about the goals and they can accomplish. So, and this organization goals, it will like interlink with an employee. For example, like they wanted to grow in the particular area, you need to identify that, you need to assign the job. Assigning means you need to replace where that employee can best fit. That's what we design the job redesigning. And wherever you placed and wherever you integrated with the organization goals with an individual goals, after that you need constant monitoring, keep like continuous monitoring, because the MBO process is not just in a setting or providing the additional effectiveness, it's also a constant monitoring. The MBO process is constant monitoring, not only the goal setting, because in a constant monitoring process it helps to identify the management that where they're lagging. So always is to compare the actuals with the standards. So what is our goal? For example, at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year, we need to increase our production capacity to 1,000 units. In the mid review, like they will get to know that where we are moving. So are we able to reach that goal or not? So by monitoring, we able to achieve that. Means if anything is lagging, so what is the additional thing is required, or the available resources enough to fulfill the goal. So you're able to get to know that. And the next one is performance evaluation. So this is a basic concept of MBO. So always you need to evaluate. So as for the basic concept of MBO, the performance evaluation comes under the responsibility of the concerned managers and the made by their participation. So it can, because like if you appraising, if you like doing evaluation of the performance, so it will helps towards the reaching the organization objective smoothly. And the last process is providing feedback. It's not the last process, means after that you need to appraise. So you need to provide the feedback whenever you like reviewing, monitoring the process. Identify the drawbacks, identify the issues, identify the gaps. Same convey to the concerned people, employees. So it motivates them. For example, if they go doing good, just appreciate them. It motivates them to work. If they're doing it wrong, tell them where they're doing it wrong. So it's easy for them to correct it. The last stage, performance appraisal. So it is associated with a performance evaluation. It means appraisal. You are appraising the employees, and based on the work done, based on the effectiveness, you are appraising, and like you may increase the salary, or you are adding the more responsibility, or moving the job and other things. So this is about MBO, management by objectives. So it's in a 6-step process. First, you will define the organization, then you will define the individual goals, then you keep monitoring, performance evaluation. You'll provide the feedback, then performance appraisal. By here, we are completed with a structural intervention. So we discussed change in physical setting, formulation, work redesign, job enrichment. In today's class, we discussed about the job redesign structures, meaning, techniques, process, and the advantage. After we discussed about the MBO, management by objectives. So and we are left with one, the social technical interventions. So till now we discussed the two interventions. One is comprehensive and structural. So the next type of intervention is social technical intervention that we will cover in the next class. After that, the conditions for optimal success of OD. Thank you. Have a great day.